Throughout western South America, there was once a vast empire known as the Inca Empire. What were the Incas like? What happened to them? The Inca referred to their empire by the name Tawantinsuyu, a term which means the four provinces. The word Inca actually meant ruler or lord, and was used to refer to the elite or ruling class. However, when the Spaniards arrived in the 1500s, they began using the word Inca to describe all members of the empire, and this name has continued to be used throughout history. Native cultures had been living in the Andean mountains for thousands of years, and the Inca represent the final stage of these civilizations. The Inca Empire was dominant throughout much of the 1400s and into the 1500s. At its peak, the empire stretched from present-day Colombia to Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, Chile, and Argentina. Its capital was located in Cusco in modern-day Peru. The Inca Empire expanded in a similar fashion to the Aztec Empire. They used a combination of peaceful assimilation and conquest. At first, the leader of a neighboring tribe would receive a message informing them of the benefits of joining the Inca Empire. The leader would be promised material wealth and luxury goods. Most accepted and joined peacefully. If the offer was refused, the tribe would be conquered and the local ruler would be executed. The villages were largely left to govern themselves, but they were taxed in the form of providing luxury items and workers for Cusco. Amongst noble families, the Incans observed a custom of tightly wrapping cloth straps around the heads of newborn children. Newborns have soft skulls, and this head wrapping resulted in a more conically shaped head. This was done to distinguish the nobility from the commoners. Amongst the commoners, there was a very high mortality rate for small children. As a result, families did not name children immediately after they were born. In fact, minimal effort went into raising the child until he or she reached the age of 2 or 3. At that time, there would be a coming-of-age ceremony. At this ceremony, there would be food and dancing, and each family member would get to cut a lock of hair from the child's head. Following this ritual, the child's head would be shaved. Children would experience a second coming-of-age ceremony as they grew older and became young men and women. This involved ceremonial rituals as well as dancing, fasting, and tasks to demonstrate strength. Boys also received a new set of clothes. Young men typically married at the age of 20, while young women married around the age of 16. The life of a woman in Incan society involved many different tasks. These tasks could include taking care of children, spinning thread, weaving cloth, cooking, planting seeds, tending to the fields, and harvesting crops. They might also need to carry water, herd animals, or perform numerous other tasks. A man's life would have been filled with pulling weeds from the fields, plowing, harvesting the crops, and carrying firewood. The men also built homes and herded llamas and alpacas. Men were also warriors who participated in combat when the need arose. In religious matters, the Incan myths were orally passed down from generation to generation. They observed a polytheistic religion, similar to the Mesoamerican cultures. They also performed human sacrificial rituals as well. Usually, these sacrifices occurred around important events such as the death of a leader or during times of great strife or suffering. As part of their religious services, Incas would sometimes chew the leaves of the coca plant, which they believed had sacred or magical properties. The plant was also used to provide workers or messengers with extra energy, or as an anesthetic during medical procedures. The Incan army was powerful and intimidating. Every able-bodied male was expected to participate in some capacity. The Incan army went to battle with helmets made of wood, copper, or bronze. They carried shields made from wood or possibly an animal's hide. They used bone-tipped or possibly bronze spears, clubs, slingshots, and battle axes with stone or copper heads. As impressive as the Incan army was, they met their downfall in Francisco Pizarro. Pizarro was a Spanish conquistador who arrived in South America in the late 1520s. Through a series of battles and conflicts, Pizarro and his fellow conquistadors conquered the Inca Empire in 1533. A combination of Spanish brutality and the diseases they brought with them wiped out much of the Incan population. Remnants of the Inca Empire are still visible today. Their architecture was so well constructed that it has withstood the test of time. The ruins of the Incan city of Machu Picchu have been abandoned since the mid-1500s, yet they still amaze visitors today. The site remains one of Peru's most prominent tourist attractions.